Like at the movies.
It's my arm rust. Nation.
Let's go.
Cruising down the street, real slow. What the fellas be yelling? Marrero. So y'all didn't know that was coming.
We did not know that.
I didn't know that was coming. It'll make sense in about 5 minutes.
It is the DNVR Pregame Show for Colorado versus Cincinnati, presented by Game Time and Coors Light. Download the Game Time app, use the promo code BUFFS, get $20 off your first purchase, and get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. What is up, fellas?
Tell you what's up. We got a nice game.
My guy got notes and everything
Neely,
today.
bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, you know, I've been here since like 1 o'clock, and I was like, I got to fill some time. And there was like paper, and there was a pen, and there was either draw or make notes.
Wow.
So
what'd you draw?
I didn't. I didn't. Well, it started to be a penis, and then I said,
wow.
Oh, my God. It took us 2 minutes.
Well, he asked. So.
Yeah, I did that. That's on me.
See, there you got to know where you're going. We got Cincinnati coming to town, 8:15 p.m. kickoff live on ESPN. This thing is sold out. 5-2, 5-2. Somebody is leaving here going to a bowl game.
Yes, sir.
Why not us?
Why not us?
Oh, come on. Come on. Have you guys noticed that somehow every time recently either both of you are wearing sunglasses and I'm not, or I am and both of you aren't?
I noticed that.
I asked him before the show, we go in shades or not. He said he didn't have his.
I didn't bring mine.
Damn,
that's how I made my
decision. You didn't ask me. So you guys are just how
I knew you had yours.
That's all right, man. I like being unique.
You are unique.
You are unique, bro.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No hats. Okay, I'm the only hat.
Yep.
You only hat.
Got your own thing, too.
Yeah.
All right. We've got a few guests coming on today. We got Alejandro Mata.
We do.
Is our guy ready?
We got a guy here that probably needs no introduction.
Not at all.
But we're going to introduce him anyway. He's number 10. Kordell Stewart is with us. Slash is with us. He's going to come in and join us, and he's over there doing something. Dancing. I don't know what that was. I really hate I looked over there and saw it. You know? I'm used to Kordell like slashing going downfield. I have no idea what that was. But, you know, a couple of shows ago, we were here in this room, well, the room next door, and we had Michael Westbrook on.
Yes, sir.
Now we got the other end of the Miracle, Michigan on. We're just going to talk some ball, talk what they're seeing in Colorado and beyond. I think you're going to talk a little recruiting with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Maybe some names to come up. Who
Maybe
knows?
some names. Maybe.
And maybe he'll come over and join us, you know.
Come join us.
Just over there chilling.
Here we go. Colorado football legend Kordell Stewart joining the show.
Legend.
How we doing, guys?
What is up, bro?
Great, man. How you doing?
Here, I can't complain. Great to see y'all.
Good to have you.
Yeah, thanks. Like to be
Oh,
here.
man.
What's it like to be back out here, man?
Boy, I tell y'all what. You see how nice it looks outside these
Yes,
windows?
sir.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Unbelievably good. I tell everybody all the time when I came here, the 4 years I was here, it was 4 years of vacation.
Mm.
And I know now that you guys are a part of the program and the position that it's in, the fun that you guys are having, stressful because you still have to work, but it's worth it.
Of course.
Because the outcome in so many cases are always on the upper end. It makes it feel like it's not work. You're just having a good time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And anytime you could do something that you love and having a good time doing it, it makes it feel like it's a vacation. So I know some may not like how that sounds, but you need to learn that same way of working and doing your thing.
It was interesting when you presented it, but when you broke it down, it makes total sense.
Oh, it's what it is. I mean, I get we are working. Don't get it twisted, but you just love what you do. And when you love what you do, you just have a great time. And when I was here in Colorado at the time going to school, I just loved what I was doing.
Yeah.
And to walk in this of 365 days, 300 days of sunshine with no clouds in the skies.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah. Well, let me talk about this with you. You were at practice today.
Yep.
final walkthroughs before the game. What did you see? What did you observe, energy-wise or vibe?
Even yesterday, when having practice, same today, everybody's moving fast. I like that pace. And guys look like they know where they're going.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of communications. Guys are asking the right questions, especially leading up to a game.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to ask a question today that you should have asked on Monday.
Yeah.
That's kind of the reverse of what you've been building up to have an opportunity to do, which is have a chance to win. But you see a group of guys that are focused, especially number 2. Shedeur is special in so many ways outside of being a ball player. But you add that mentality, which he has a nickname Grown for a reason. Mm-hmm. He handles the game as such. And when you have a leader like that on the football field that are correcting guys, checking them at the same time, getting the most out of them, but yet still being able, when he's making mistakes or someone else making mistakes, still being dialed in.
Yeah.
That's a focus that you can't write down on. You can't discuss that. You can't put that on paper. That's either you have it or you don't. And I think that's why the Buffs been so successful. Even last season, how many, 33 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, something like that?
Yeah.
And he was getting hit. He was the most hit quarterback in all of college football. I mean, all of college football. Pretty remarkable.
I mean, you mentioned being here this week. Were you here during the season at all last year? I know you were here before the season during the spring.
I was here for that week of spring ball, and I was here for maybe 2 to 3 games.
Yeah, USC,
and Nebraska.
Yes,
and
they
Nebraska.
were here. Yeah.
What are the differences you've noticed from this team this year?
Oh, it's
last
just
year?
Guys are running. I mean, it's confidence, right? You get a group of coaches, players that no one knows, whether it's coming from Jackson or wherever they came from, to the guys who were even here. No one knew anything. I mean, this concept of Coach Prime's tenure as a head coach, no one understood it. They couldn't identify it. This community couldn't even speak it. It was all, well, if it's happening, let's do it. And to now see it actually moving like a well-oiled machine, and everybody's getting it, as opposed to just the people in the house were getting it, it's beautiful. I mean, it's about as good as it can get. You would have thought we have won a national championship already, the excitement that we have here. And when you have that type of energy taking place with the football program, that matters for recruiting, confidence, fan base, branding, everything. And that's winning, right? And then you win games. That sounds crazy, right? You thought you're supposed to win first, right?
Yeah.
Now it's the other way around. And so now, the position that we're in at the moment, we're in the driver's seat to kind of, set our own destiny in a sense, to do some things that were said early on, like Lady Peggy. Everybody say Miss Peggy, but Lady Peggy, get her a chance to go to a bowl game, to even chances of getting into the postseason of the playoffs.
Sure.
Yep.
So, it's just taking care of our business, taking it one play at a time, one game at a time, short-term memories, being the best that you could be on the next play, not the last. If you can have that mentality, enough will never be enough because you're steadily looking for that next best moment.
When you look back at kind of
That was pretty good.
it was really
That
good.
was
God,
cooked,
that was
man.
good.
You
If we had a live studio audience, you got some claps.
Man, I was about to clap for myself. There it is. There it is. Hey,
That was
that was
outstanding.
pretty good. Gosh, darn it.
I didn't clap because I wrote it.
It's okay.
Yeah, he's just reading off your notes. Is that what just happened?
Of course he did. Of course.
When you look back at, how you were at his age and, your transition from your last year of college to the NFL, what impresses you the most about Shedeur Sanders?
Kind of what I said earlier, it's just his ability to stay focused. You have to tribute that to the family, right? The expectations within the family. We got kids who come from dysfunctional backgrounds. We got kids who come from functional backgrounds. It doesn't always translate into being balanced or positive. There can be some, faltered actions, if you will, that may translate into some headaches every once in a while. But the main thing is the main thing.
Yeah.
With Shedeur and the family, and to have his dad be who he is and the things he's accomplished, that's in their blood, right? That's in their DNA, in a sense of how to approach moments and times like this. So it's not an accident, right?
No.
You get some kids out there that are playing really good ball, like the kid in Georgia to the kid in Texas, even with the Manning kid that's backing up. You see him play because it's in his blood. It's different than what the starter does. And it's just something you can't ask it. I mean, how do you justify it? How do you explain it? You can't. You have to respect it. And because of what he's doing, you have to attribute that to the love of the game that he has within his mother and his father. Let's be transparent. To know that they're very supportive. They're there for him, and I think that balance helps. But most importantly, he wants it.
Yeah.
You can have all that around all you want. If the kid doesn't want it ain't happening.
Yeah. And no one outworks him.
And no one outworks him.
That was honestly one of the first things I noticed about him when we met him, is how bad he wants it, how bad he wants to be great, how bad he needs to be great.
Yep. It's just in him. That's just what he does. You can't really explain. Like I say, a lot of things sometimes when guys just have it.
Yeah.
It's just you just have to appreciate it and enjoy it while you can.
Yeah.
And going to the next level, it's just going to be a matter of, what's the mentality of these coaches? Because some things in this, under this umbrella here at the University of Colorado, has been done in an unconventional way. And now you get to the National Football League, that is a true conventional way of doing things, which is traditional at its best.
Yeah.
Right? Thinking outside the lines doesn't exist. It has to be this way. It's like you're hearing about Travis Hunter. Well, there's no way you can play both sides of the football. Well, what people not understanding, he's playing man coverage on defense, and he's running routes. He's not playing zone coverage on defense. He's playing man coverage. So he's running a minimum of 40 yards every time he moves with an offensive player, with a receiver. Then you go on offense. You're running post routes, go routes, dig routes, comebacks, slants, double moves, just go get open type routes. And you're getting a minimum of 100 plays a game.
Yeah.
But they're questioning him with the Heisman. That kind of stuff you can't coach. But because you do have Coach Prime who can identify that, that's why he's able to be himself. That's why Shedeur is able to be himself. And a lot of players on this team who are very good players able to be themselves because he wants them to be their best self. I don't know if the National Football League knows how to do that. Andy Reid does.
Yeah.
Damn near every quarterback he's had has succeeded. Matt Castle, who left him and saw what happened to him, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's every quarterback that he's touched, he was able to get the best out of them their way, but within the confines of their system.
Let's dig into that a little bit. First and foremost, we've been talking about you, been talking about Shedeur, talking about Travis. Let's put it all together. I know Travis playing both sides of the ball. You were a quarterback playing multiple positions. Something that gets celebrated now, at best, was maybe tolerated then, but it really wasn't even tolerated. It was shunned. And you've had some coaches who embraced it and knew how to utilize your skill sets, and you had some cowards who maybe what's the cowboy fan of me? That's the cowboy fan of me coming out. You had now he gonna stop me when I lie. You had maybe
he hadn't lied yet.
You had maybe some cowards who didn't really embrace it. These guys being in this generation, do you think there's more coaches out there now that's open to embracing it, or is it still that hurdle to get over?
Well, you have to say there's some form of embracing, because if you look at the first season of the National Football League, you have 15 African-American mobile quarterbacks, and the other 15 was the other guys. Now, the other guys, you still had Josh Allen in there.
Yeah.
That was a mobile quarterback. So you're looking at that style of play, there's every bit of 15 to 20 guys that can play that style of football. All right? And so the question is, do you think they've embraced it? Yeah, they have. They've identified that you can't play the game without it. And Josh Allen is one of the most turnover quarterbacks in the game today.
Yeah.
That's fumbling and throwing interceptions.
Absolutely.
They don't talk about that.
No.
You hear somebody like Damian Woody, who's on Get Up and ESPN, say stuff like, Josh Allen's on a Hall of Fame trajectory, and he's lost in only the one AFC championship game he's gone to.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson has given you 2 MVPs. We don't say anything about his trajectory. Right. And if you look it up, the quarterbacks who has 2 MVPs or more are Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
Now, that is a trajectory.
Yep. Yeah.
But we talk about if you look like him, talk like him, and play like him, you won't be accepted until you win the Super Bowl. And that's what Dan Ozlowski said.
But do this for me. Do this for me,
ESPN.
Slash.
I'm sorry.
Because you said this earlier. You and I had a conversation earlier today. You talked about the retina.
Yeah. You like that one, did you?
Yeah, I love it. That's why
good, right?
that's damn good.
Right,
I didn't write it. That's why I want. That's why.
Here we go. So, in society today, we have Wi-Fi, right? And that Wi-Fi, whether it's that satellite that's on the moon or wherever it's sitting in the galaxy, it allows us to be able to see what it is we need to see for as operations of whether it's the computers to cars, to electricity, whatever. The retina is the same exact thing in your eye. The retina was trained to identify things a certain way. Through perception, if it's not seen that way, it will be docked. So my style of play back in that era, when I was doing what they're doing now, Deshaun Watson's getting $240 million guaranteed. Reparation is real. It's one of those things where the retina has to be altered a little bit, or even broken completely down and restructured, because that doesn't exist anymore. I was asked at one point in time when I was just signed my new contract in '98 as a quarterback for the Steelers. We just went to the AFC Championship game.
But the coach said you were his best receiver.
That one. Yeah. This is another one. So in '99, there was a coordinator that came in, Kevin Gilbride, and I remember, I think we were maybe 5-3, maybe 6-4, something like that. We were still winning, but it was his system, and his system derived around the run and shoot style system that he had with Buddy Ryan down in Houston with the Houston Oilers, and so he wanted to implement that with the personnel group that we had with Jerome Bettis, who's a power runner. That's not what we do.
Right.
So he takes me out, but when taking me out, he asked me to go to the receiver meeting room and go with the receivers. But I was the starting quarterback.
That's crazy.
I saw that. I said, Coach Cowher, what are we doing? He said, so I don't know. You know you're lying. Because if there's something that happens for us, that type of personnel movement, especially at the quarterback position, there had to be a conversation that was had. So I didn't go to the quarterback. I didn't go to the receiver meeting room. I stayed in the quarterback meeting room. But ended up playing some receiver and caught 2 touchdowns within 3 games. So that was easy. Okay, let me let you know. That was easy, guys. That was easy. But then the next year he comes back and he brings in Ken Graham off the couch. He loses the first 3 games. He busts his bursa sacked in his hip going into the 4th game on a Friday. I then have to start. Scramble for a 35-yard touchdown. Get us up by like maybe 15 or 16 points. Get on the headphones. He goes, why in the F are you running? And I said, excuse me? He goes, why in the F are you running? Hung the phone up on him. Get another phone call back from Coach Hokie, who was the running backs coach, great Hall of Fame coach. He passed away late, Dick Hoke. He goes, hey, Slash, don't worry about that. Great job. Do it again if you have to. We'll look at it on Monday, but keep doing what you're doing. But they moved me to wide receiver. And then the head coach, and Bill Cowher, at the Pat Summerall event when the Super Bowl was in Atlanta maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I remember he was telling stories about his career and how appreciative he was for a lot of the coaches and players that were very instrumental in his success. Got to me and told the story, great stories about me. All the stuff he said was right. But then he finished it up by saying, my best wide receiver on the football field was my starting quarterback. That's a glass half empty or a glass half full approach. I went empty. Knowing how traditional he was, he really meant it. Because you would have liked for me to be a receiver and let Ken Graham be the starter, but he wasn't good enough. He thought it was easy. You had Mike Tomczak come in and play for me when I went to receiver and caught his balls for touchdowns, pause, as they say. And you thought it was easy, and you had to come back to me again. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like today that's not a problem. And because of all of that, truthfully, there's a stat I think that will never, ever, ever be repeated ever again with one organization. It's 75, 35, and 5. That's 75 touchdowns thrown, 35 rushing, and 5 receiving. There's never been a player in the history of the game. Now, you may say, well, what about Taysom Hill? Well, okay, glad you asked. So he's given you 25 rushing. He's given you 10 passing, right? And he's given you 10 catching. But the passing part, I was a quarterback.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't a hybrid player. So he needs 65 more to go, and he has a chance. And he's in his 7th or 8th season.
Yep.
Ain't happening.
Yeah.
Ain't happening. So now today to you guys' question and thinking about the game, those aren't issues anymore. Lamar Jackson he's alive.
Yeah.
He's real.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Kyler Murray.
Yep.
He's alive. He's real. Jaden Daniels. He's alive. He's real. Josh Allen. He's alive. He's real. So because over those years, coaches had a chance to defend it and coaches had a chance to coach it. Now they come from the collegiate ranks up to the pros, you have that guy in place. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I had the traditionalists on my side, and I still defied the odds. Another stat. I like stats. They're good sometimes. They say numbers never lie. Sometimes they do, but this one, not lying. Dating back to 1933 with the Pittsburgh Steelers when they first started, in the history of that organization's existence, out of all the quarterbacks they've drafted, including myself, but I was the best wide receiver on the field, was the first player to ever to complete over 60% of my passes.
Wow.
In the history. So if I was the first and I was a wide receiver that completed over 60% of my what the hell were those dudes?
Yeah.
But they were drafted as quarterbacks.
Right.
I'm just saying. So sometimes you take information, you take data, you put it together, put it inside a pot, create some gumbo, put some filet on top, and you go ahead on and get some rice, some corn.
Is this powder?
It's powder. It's nice spicy powder,
Thank you,
right?
thank you.
Some bay leaves in there, too.
That
Appreciate it.
And then you drop some cornbread on that thing. Go ahead and get you a nice little strawberry Fanta, something like that. Or even a sweet tea. We all can relate to that nowadays because you know what sweet tea is, how sweet tea really, really is. Now that Coach Prime is here, right?
Oh, yeah. We officially, when we got here, there was no grits and no sweet tea.
Yes,
and I can proudly tell everyone, not only there are grits here, just today, the grits got complimented. Like, man, these are real grits, and the sweet tea is always on deck.
Oh my gosh, can't do nothing without it. And my thing is this: it's crazy how things have changed, and the mentality that you have to have, or that I have to have, because I'm human.
Yeah.
When you put somebody through that type of stuff, I'm not asking for a pass. I don't want nobody to feel sorry, not making any excuses. But when you have to go through that to prove yourself, and you proved yourself better than most, you was the best receiver on the field and the best quarterback. Just imagine if someone else would have done it that was accepted in the game. Let's just say that, right? Because I don't like using the R word. I don't like using racism. I hate that word. I use prejudice, but I don't like racism. I like prejudice because prejudice just basically means I just don't like that style. That's not what I want to eat.
It's a prejudgment.
It's a prejudgment. It's not something that you can't. It's something that you can't change that causes you to be a racist. But you can use the word prejudice and say I just don't like that style. I'd rather have this style, even if he may be shorter, taller, or different color or whatever. As long as we do it this way because it's most comfortable to me. And I would say that prejudice has caused a lot of inconsistencies. And, another stat. How about this? I'm not done with you yet. You guys gave me the mic. So
I was going to say, we could just put these down and just let you cook for another hour.
So in 5 years of being in Pittsburgh, I had 4 different coordinators in a 5-year span. Where did they do that at? How does that? And in 2 of those 5 years, we went to the AFC Championship game.
Wow.
And that was off of guys that coached me. Chan Gailey. Mike Mularkey came in 96. Chan Gailey was already there. Mike Mularkey came in 96 to coach the tight ends. Chan Gailey became the coordinator as opposed to receiver coach in 97. Mike Mularkey still was the tight ends coach. Chan Gailey leaves and goes to Dallas. Mike Mularkey still a tight end coach. He then becomes the coordinator in 01. And I get Tommy Clemens as the quarterbacks coach, who had Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, had the best year of my career. First time ever having a quarterback coach. The entire time I was in the National Football League. Had the best year of my career.
That's crazy.
I digress.
Okay, has something for you.
I have a couple things. One, quickly, this one. Who is the quarterback that you have watched since that you think, man, if I could have played in that system?
Oh, everyone played for Andy Reid. Every last one of them that played with Andy Reid. Michael Vick was incarcerated for 18 months. He came out and come back as the comeback player of the year. Could have been the MVP of the league.
Yes, sir.
Michael Vick had no confidence in himself until he got in a game and scrambled on the sideline and beat a couple guys. He said in his documentary, and he comes back and says, you know what? I guess I can still do this.
Yeah.
And it took the confidence from his coach to say, I just need you to be you. I don't need you to be anything else but you. Whatever that is. Hamstrings tight, lower back tight, arm tight, because you haven't been doing all this while you was inside. But he comes outside, and he has someone that has confidence, and he's still better than most. Think about that for a second. It's an out-of-body experience when you have someone that believes in you, and you trust them, and there's a trust factor in between the two that allows you to be you and know that it's okay to make a mistake. There's been too many times where it wasn't okay for guys to make, like myself, to make mistakes because I throw the ball at the highest point. Receiver catches it. The DB is taught when the ball's coming down to punch through. Ball comes out incomplete. They say if you would have thrown it upfield about another yard, it'd been a great catch or a great, passing catch. Yeah. Comes back, do it again with the other quarterback. Ball goes up at the highest point. DB punches through. Ball comes out. Receiver needs to catch the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, moving goalposts.
So that's right. So perception is everything when it comes to identifying what's being covered. And don't get it twisted. When these analysts speak during the game, they only getting the information from the coaches that's talking to them.
Oh, yeah.
So they are not coming up with this on their own when they say, well, he needs to do this better. Who are you? You saw that pressure. But if someone says, oh, I like how he handled things under pressure, like I said about Shedeur earlier, when you see him make a throw where a receiver has a chance to catch it, the first thing you're going to say, oh, the receiver needs to help him out. But I would say Shedeur needs to put it on him a little bit more sometimes. Well, if Shedeur could put it on him a little bit better, see what I'm saying? It's perception.
I know.
We know what the voice is.
It's perception. And so it's, you know what I mean? And so it's one of those things where you really have to listen. And if you know how to listen, you can hear what they're not saying when covering things. Well, today, they ain't got no choice now. It's too much of it. What you going to say?
My other follow-up was obviously, in a perfect world, you would have been able to play, the way they let these guys play now.
And get more money, but go ahead.
Yes, exactly. But do you take some solace, some validation in the fact that you helped kind of lay the groundwork for that?
To me, yes. You don't hear it enough because they run to Michael Vick, which I was before. They go to Donovan McNabb. I was before. I was the ultimate extremist of that dual threat, so to speak, because I gave you a third component. I was able to catch it. And so they would choose, and I punted one time, they choose to call it hybrid. Or Kordell should have just been a wide receiver. But I was the best quarterback on the field. Gosh, darn it. My blood pressure shot up. And so you get into this place of saying, I know I did my part. I did my part. Yeah. And all you can do is just allow time to take its course. Because look what's in Pittsburgh right now. It's a triple dose. Your head coach, your backup, and your starter.
Yeah.
Now, what you going to boo and yell at? Oh, they was just cheering for Justin Fields. You saw how his time started. He wasn't the most accurate starting out against Atlanta. In Atlanta, I was at that game. He couldn't hit a stop sign standing right there in front of him 2 feet away. And then all of a sudden, they put Russell Wilson in. Now, don't get me wrong. 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's pretty good. 4-2 as a starter. It's excellent. Numbers were better while playing than Patrick Mahomes while he was playing at the same time. His numbers were better. If you look it up, you'll see it. And it's one of those things where you're hearing the fans saying, why are you taking Justin Fields out? I'm like, I'll be damned. Really? In Pittsburgh? I'm like, wow.
Things come a long way.
Amazing. They're taking them forever, but I mean, gosh darn, it should have been a little quicker. And they like to say you were ahead of your time. No, I said I was ready. I was on time. They just weren't ready.
I like that. I like that.
I wanted to ask you about another number 10. There's a picture that's kind of going on social media right now.
Of who?
Of you.
The one you shared.
The one I shared.
With,
How about that?
With Julian Lewis.
Juju?
What can you tell us about your relationship with him?
Oh, man. That picture I think you saw where he's standing there with a Georgia shirt on, I guess, with a little scully cap looking like he's a little baby, which he was at that time. We were at Willie's. So my son and I, after practice, because the campus was literally no more than 2 miles away, we would stop at Willie's and get whatever, and Juju and his dad comes in. And the dad say, Mr. Stewart, I'd like for you to meet my son. This is Juju. Whoa, he wears number 10. And I go shake his hand like a gentleman. And he say, man, I've always followed you. I've done my homework, and I know you, and I read number 10 because of you. I said, really? I said, tell me about 10. He said, he's a bad man. I said, thank you, Juju. Thank you, buddy. And so he ends up, I end up following him on Instagram and watching him go to Pope, the high school, and playing. And everything he did, whether it was Rivals, Adidas, whatever those little 7-on-7 camps that he went to, he's always gotten the winning trophy, or he's always been projected to be the number one quarterback in every single class he's been in since he's been on his run after that moment. Because I didn't know who he was before then.
Yeah.
I just started following him, and he's responded every time I say, great work. Like, he'll play a game, I'll watch the highlights or whatever because what he'll post. And I would tell him, great job, or I'd tell him, I loved the way you stepped up and made that throw. Great way to keep your eyes down. I would always say little bitty things that he was always responding, say, yes, sir, I appreciate you, following or whatever. And what did you see? So tell me what you saw in that picture when you saw it? Something special on there? Is he supposed to be coming in town?
He is.
He is.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
And you're here.
And I'm here.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, how about this?
How about that? How about that?
I mean, that picture's from 2018.
Yes, sir.
That's the beginning of y'all's relationship. And by the way, him telling you that he, followed you and knew who you were is evidence of what I was just saying about legacy and foundation.
That's right.
But that's a long, long time ago.
Bro.
And for the paths to then come back and meet here in
Crazy.
Boulder this weekend with Coach Prime here, a lot of things had to align in the universe for this to line up like this.
Tell you what, the universe is something else, isn't it?
Yep.
Something
it
else.
is.
I mean, I've always said that when I came here to see these mountains. I'm like, if you didn't know nothing about God, you know now when you're looking west of this city and see those mountains sitting there. And I promise you, the same tree is sitting in the same spot that it was sitting in when I was here in 1999. It hadn't moved. The mountain hadn't budged. There wasn't a piece of it that fell off. All that stuff still looks the same. And so when you say that about how, fate is and the universe and how things operate, I was trying to come last week. Well, week before last.
Kansas State, right?
Kansas State. I was trying to come here then. But the storm was taking Helene or whatever her name was. She tore up some stuff, and I was kind of nervous to leave because I didn't want to get stuck, away and end up looking as sunny as it looks right now outside. But then I text my man right here, and I said, "Hey, Brother E, I'm on my way. I'm coming for Cincinnati." He said, "All right, see you then." Today or yesterday, I saw on social media that he was coming on the 25th. I said, I'll be damn. Y'all play too much. I said, Neely, y'all play too much, man. I don't know what that is, man. Now I got to see this man's daddy and him with this bushy hair, this stuff all over his head, and say, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
As if this was planned.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just like, bro, I just want you to know it wasn't. It wasn't planned. I promise you it wasn't planned.
Planned in the stars.
But to see that he's coming this weekend with me being here and that number 10 jersey is going to be available for him if he were to come, because Wester is gone after this season.
Yep.
It's going to be pretty darn remarkable.
Yeah.
That's a great eras of quarterbacks that come through. There's been some pretty good ones in the middle, but myself, Shador, and then this kid, yeah, I did it.
That's perfect.
Love it.
Awesome.
Kordell Stewart has been
sir.
with us. Look, I know Jake is over about to pee because he got to read these
Oh,
ads.
relax.
He said,
We also got Mata waiting over there.
Yeah, I know you got 2 ad breaks. Slash, I know
Nah,
we're going
man.
to catch up with you
Mr.
tomorrow
Automatic.
post game. Man, appreciate you, brother, coming
come on,
in.
man. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Thank you so much,
yeah.
Slash.
Awesome. Of course.
I see
You
this,
cooked.
so I'm just going to
What you talking about?
that, so I'm just leave you with
What,
this.
you talking about the
I'm
Mega
gonna
Sapphire?
leave you with that.
I got something here on my arm.
I'm gonna
I'm
leave
not
you there.
coming out of my shirt to let y'all
I
see
showed
what's
them
on
the
my arm.
video earlier.
Yeah.
And Rick George didn't know what was going on, and he ran
He
over
was
to
running
us.
with
He was so concerned.
Concerned something was about to happen in that little circle. God. Well, you know.
Shout out to Rick George, man. I love you.
For
That was
those who don't
hilarious.
know what we're talking about, it's the Greek life, of fraternities. He's a Kappa and I'm Omega, of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, that is. And there was another brother that was an Alpha, another brother who was a Sigma in the same area.
Yeah.
But today it was just us two and another Kappa of, I think, one of the strength coaches, another
Houston,
strength coach's brother, yep. And he's a Q. And
Yeah, Coach
we just-
Mo was with you, and Houston was with me.
yeah, and so they try to jump me, I'm like, I got the AD sitting here, I got cameras up here.
And Rick
I'm gonna
George
sue the whole
wasn't having
fraternity.
it. Rick George wasn't
I'm
having
gonna
it.
sue the entire fraternity. So Rick goes, "What's going on here?" I said, "Rick, don't worry about it." He said, "What is that supposed to mean?" Rick, don't worry about it.
We just play it.
Don't let that bother you, man. We love you, Rick. We love you. We love you.
The legend himself,
Appreciate
Kordell
man.
Stewart.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's take our first break.
Just
Shout
right on
out.
time.
Right on time. Just as we calculated. Shout out to Game Time.
I love
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app. Use the promo code BUFFS, BUFFS. Get $20 off your first purchase. Sold out tomorrow. Get in the door. Use Game Time. Concerts, events, basketball season, hockey season, whatever's going on. You love Game Time, don't you?
Man, I absolutely love Game Time. I was looking at some events during bye week, actually,
There you
on
go.
the Game Time app.
So, again, redeem code BUFFS for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. What time is it?
Game time!
Mata, how old are you?
How old do you think I am?
Around 21.
21.
Are you?
20.
All right, well, close your ears. Shout out to Kurz Live. Oh, you guys know what it is. If you're looking for a beer and it's time to chill, Kurz Light is the go-to. Go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR to have it delivered straight to your door with Instacart. That is, of course, as long as you are of age. And tomorrow, let's get this dub. Let's get bowl eligibility, and let's drink some Kurz Light. Of course, if you
in
are
that,
of age.
in that order.
Let's.
Strongly in that order.
Not you.
Nah, more of a. No, actually, no.
You can't say that.
you
You
shouldn't
can't
say
say
that.
that.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
It's cranberry juice for Mata.
No, it's apple juice.
Apple
you
juice
go.
for
Apple
Mata.
juice and apple
Hey,
cider.
the apple juice in the cafeteria is pretty damn good.
It
though.
is pretty good.
Yeah.
Apple juice when it
stellar.
comes out of that dispenser
Yes.
always hits somehow.
Oh,
I thought you guys were only supposed to drink water and Gatorade.
Yeah, but I'm a
He took
kicker.
the sign down.
I'm a specialist.
You got to do that when the sign is up. I don't know if the sign fell down or he took it down, but
Something happened,
Yeah.
and it totally wasn't me. No,
I know everyone out there already knows.
Right.
But we got to say who it is. Alejandro Mata has joined the show.
What's up, dude?
Thank you for having me. Again.
We love having
Always.
you. Like, we absolutely love having you.
I
As a
love
matter of
being
fact, when you come on and leave here, great things happen.
That is true.
Really?
Yes,
That
great
is
things
true.
happen.
What was the last game?
You were
UCF.
last on for Orlando, right?
Yep.
It was.
Yeah.
Great things happen.
We don't have Publix out here. I can't hook you up this
Yeah, you
weekend.
can't get you a
I don't
sub.
wear
Well, he can
that.
get you a sub. It just won't be from Publix.
Yeah, but you've been balling recently, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Big
Just-
12 Specialist of the Week.
Yep.
How'd that feel?
It felt great. Not only winning the award, but knowing that I'm, to my knowledge, the only kicker to win it in 3 different conferences.
Wow. Nice.
Let him cook.
Let me taste. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mata's cooking.
That's
was it?
awesome.
3 different Mata, I love that.
Me too.
Yeah.
SWAC, Pac-12 last year, and then
Big 12 now.
12 this
That is
season.
crazy.
Take that, Mata haters.
Can I ask you something? Why does this team seem to play better on the road than at home?
Coach Prime kind of mentioned it. You feel me? Like, we like to be the bad guys of the story. You feel me? Like, we like to come in and like ruin the happy ending to certain teams,
Yeah.
especially when they're the ones that like talk
Oh, yeah.
and then try to blame us for it.
Yep.
It's great. It's a great feeling, that's for sure.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Arizona especially.
Oh, yeah.
Especially
Trust me.
Arizona.
I know.
Because they got that field goal with seconds left, and, you remember that one.
No, I remember.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I remember.
Is that a little bit of that the inspiration for that fire Instagram caption you had
Yeah.
this week?
Oh, how about it, huh? You know where I found it?
Where?
So I went on TikTok, right? And I looked up Instagram caption for athletes, and I just read the comments. And I was like, holy crap, this one's perfect.
Hey, AI, baby. God bless AI.
You got ghostwriters.
Unbelievable.
A lot of Mexican flags were popping up when you sat down in the chat. Shout out.
I love
Yep.
it. I love it.
Shout out to
I also
that.
read one said Modelo. Hey,
Not
He's
allowed,
never had
bro.
one in
Not
his
allowed.
life, so he wouldn't
just
know.
apple cider.
Same color, though.
Same color.
Speaking of, have you found good Mexican food out here yet that you like?
Not yet. Nothing crazy. Like, there's this one spot by my place, but it's nothing like outstanding. You feel me?
How many have you tried a lot?
Not really. I haven't really like been out there and looking. There's this one food truck.
I was about to say, because you put me on it. Well, Mama T put us all on it, Miss Tower in the corner. It was after a practice.
Oh, that place was gas. I'm not gonna lie.
Because
to
I
you.
was going to skip it, and you came and found me. It's like, Neely, it's real Mexican.
That was
you got to
pretty
go
good.
get it.
That was pretty good. But I don't know if it's the same truck though. So it was after a game last season, and me and my friend were driving back to where I lived at the time. It was Bear Creek, and on that gas station in the corner, there was a food truck like parked. I'm like, I'm starving.
Yeah.
Cosmos was closed for some reason. I'm not a big McDonald's guy. Like, nothing was open.
Nobody is right
except for that one food truck.
True.
So I stopped, and I'm like, so what do y'all serve? They're like, tacos. I'm like,
They serve what?
Tacos.
I have never called it that.
There's tacos.
That's just the right pronunciation.
Oh, sorry. No.
And I'm like, shoot, let me get some. And I'm not gonna lie, gas.
All right.
Gas. But I've never seen them in that corner ever again.
Damn.
Which is pretty sad. Yeah.
It was all a dream.
I think so. I think so.
Might have been high on apple cider. Dreamed all this. Mata, let me ask you this.
Let me answer you this.
Appreciate that. We've had some moments of it last year, but it's been way more consistent this year where we have played complementary football. Offense, defense, special teams all shows up. What does it do for you as a specialist to not only go out there in a good position, but to also know you're giving it back in a better position?
I definitely feel less pressure. Having a better offense and a better defense kind of takes the pressure off me, just because I know that, like, even if I do miss, in the rare occasion that I do miss,
Of course.
I know the defense is gonna get the ball right back, and then the offense is gonna finish the actual drive, the very next drive.
Yeah, good point.
Do you have any dances that are gonna be coming out this week?
You have any
hopefully not.
Better dances?
Hopefully not, because what do you mean?
Huh? No, it's outside. Slow motion thing.
He could take that one that Kordell was doing earlier.
There you go.
Hopefully not. The only time I celebrate.
Travis is the one who wanted to celebrate with you after that one kick, right?
Yeah, and I didn't want to because I was like, nah, it's too soon. It's too soon. And he's like, nah, fuck that. All right, whatever.
You're getting eyes from across the
Yeah. I was like, all right.
Awesome. I'll call you, Rick. Don't you don't have to call me. I call you. I get on it.
How's the fantasy league going? What's this guy?
It's the most competitive league I've been part of.
Really?
We have 6 teams that are 3-4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
like
Playoff
Big
race
12.
is tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I
not-
thought these guys were going to be some slouches. I thought that I would just roll out of bed to be at the top, and that happened the first couple of weeks. And
Took the playoff.
yeah, I mean, it's these guys know ball, man. They know how to hit the waiver wire. Then you got Dempsey out there who just does not know what the hell he's doing.
He's just getting lucky.
and just winning. It's like, come on, dog.
Did you lose to him?
I play him this week.
Okay.
And I'm off to a good start because I have Justin Jefferson and
Do you have
Aaron
Puka?
Jones,
Okay.
which, you know what, I'm not mad about.
Yeah.
My win expectancy right now is at 60 something,
All right.
and it's a great way to start.
Yeah,
go.
Feely. Shout out to Feely. I know he's out there recovering.
Yep.
He started off like 0-4.
Yeah.
And now he's like 3 or 4 wins in a row. He's turned it around. Got a little time to focus on his picks, on the selections.
He just has more time in his hands.
Yeah.
Of all the different teams that you've been on with Coach Prime, what to you makes this one unique?
Ooh. So, here's the thing, right? So, I think we have the chemistry that we had at Jackson State, but the skill level that we had last year. And it's just all coming together, and actually players are buying into what the coaches are saying. These guys are hanging out with each other on and off the field, and it's honestly just great seeing how much more of a team we are than compared to last year.
Does that play out obviously on Saturday, or is it more in the background? What's an example of when you see something on a Saturday where you're like, man, we are such a team right now?
Me personally, I don't see it because I'm kind of I'm too short to see over people and see the actual play, so I'm just looking at the big screen. But when I hear the coaches say it and hear them talk about how good of a chemistry we have and how much of a team building we've been doing, and honestly just makes me happy, to be honest with you. Just being part of a team that actually likes being around each other.
Love that.
Oh, yeah, man.
I would have Mata and G-Baby, as we call him at Jackson State.
G baby.
I would say, look, guys, when you go out there and kick that thing, when you come off the field, you got to grab them.
Crap. Wait, what?
You just trust me, you got to grab them. So they we were in Atlanta playing somebody,
It was the only team we played in Atlanta was North Carolina Central. I think it was.
No, this one maybe it was Miami FAMU. Anyway,
Okay.
came off and grabbed him. Excellent job. I hit G Baby's DM a couple weeks ago because he kind of shanked one, and he had the highlight up there. I said, "Did you grab him?" He's like, "Coach, I forgot." I said, "See, you gotta grab him. You're 100% when you grab him."
Forgot this guy.
Oh man, I miss G Baby, bro.
Yeah, he's my guy, man. Yeah. Shout out to G Baby in a model moment. Tell you something else.
Mm-hmm.
We FaceTimed G Baby one day last year.
I remember.
And G Baby gets on FaceTime with no shirt on. I said, "Look, I don't care how busy you are. Don't you ever answer my damn phone. You take the time to put a shirt on before you answer my phone call." And in G Baby's thick accent, he agreed. That is just no, man. Call me back with a shirt on. Don't answer. I didn't want to miss your call. Don't miss my call.
If it's like that, you're allowed. Like that's the one chance I'm giving you to miss my call.
Yeah. Shout out to G Baby.
Shout out.
What is his thick accent?
It's like Mata's.
But worse.
Yeah.
Somehow, because he grew up like in the United States. Yeah.
Remind everybody everywhere you have been.
So I was born in Honduras.
Okay.
But I only lived there for like a year and a half. Not even. Like half a year. Then I moved to Mexico, and that's where I spent most of my childhood. So I lived there for like 8 years. Then moved to Brazil. Lived there for 4 years. And then moved to South Georgia in a little town called Leesburg. Then moved to North Georgia to Beaufort. And then Jackson State, Colorado.
Damn.
Yeah.
I imagine out of all those places, Leesburg, Georgia had the worst accent. He wants to say yes.
No.
What's the Colorado accent?
It's just very white.
Fair enough.
Like, there's like white and then there's country white. This is just white.
Just standard run of the mill,
Yeah.
boring ass white.
Of course, no racism intended.
Of course. No, never.
None taken. It is true though. Like
It's just white.
the only thing I've ever heard anyone say about the Colorado accent is one, they feel like we talk slower. Especially people from the East Coast will be like, the accent is just you guys just talk slow.
Yeah.
And then the other one is like kind of draw out some words, or we don't pronounce a lot of T's, like mountains. Like we say, let's go to the mountains instead of the mountains.
Fair.
Yep.
So, but it's
Fair.
very
But everything you just described is why I love it here. Like it doesn't have the twang of the South, but I hear you.
Yeah.
Like I don't hear the I don't say the N in mountains. You know, I get it.
Yeah.
And I talk slow. You know, I get it. Like it makes sense. But it's white though.
And if you go to the right
Right.
towns, you can hear Kerr's line.
I love when you say that. Yeah. Sometimes I text you and just say, "Hey, send me a voice note saying Coors."
And I say, nah, man, do that on your own time.
It's only 1 a.m.
Oh, gosh.
Mata,
We'll let you go, man.
No.
yeah, got to let you get out of here,
Yeah,
but you know,
I
just gonna
Wait,
set
no,
the
you
stage
said
for you.
you were going to tell us what you were
You
doing.
did say you were going
Oh,
to tell
yeah.
us what you were doing before.
You said it was interesting.
You
You
were
said
over
I was going
there.
to tell you what I was doing
You were
before.
doing
that.
something
Right.
interesting.
So listen to this. This is a pregame tradition that like just emerged this season.
Okay.
I bring my Xbox, and me and Mark, we play Dynasty NCAA.
Mhm.
He's the offensive coordinator. I'm the defensive coordinator.
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
head coach. So at any time we're on defense, you know, I clamp up. Every time he's on offense, he throw picks. And I'm really, as a head coach, I'm really thinking about making the decision of, you know, Sean Lewis to Pat Shermer.
Moving on. Yeah.
We're going to demote him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you need an OC, I'm your guy.
It's cooking.
I dropped 100 on Heisman mode the other night.
Who's
So
on the
I got
short
you.
list to be the next OC?
I was looking at Jacob Polite.
Oh, that's my guy.
Oh,
Hell
okay.
yeah.
We're Team Polite over here.
He came over. What was it? Not last game.
He was here a few weeks ago, yeah.
Not Arizona, but the away game before that.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot what game it was.
UCF.
No.
No, he,
He
was
was
in
there for
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
He was in Nebraska.
Oh,
too,
that's
yeah.
right. Yep.
And then he was also here for
He was here for
Kansas
K-State.
State.
Yeah.
K-State. There you
Yeah.
go. That was the one. He came up to the room, and mate, he was just shit in the bed. I'm not going to lie to you. And Jacob was just in the room, like, I have to make the move.
Mid-game.
Mid-
Called to the
Mid-game.
bullpen.
Wow.
Mid-game.
Wow.
And we're down like 7-0, you know, halftime. And I'm like, mate, fired. Gave the
Just
controller
like
to
that?
Jacob and scored on the first drive. So it was great.
Wow.
That's
How did Mate take that?
He was like, I understand. It's cool.
Wow.
So how'd it go before this?
Better. We changed the playbook, changed the scheme.
Nice.
Offensively, obviously. Defense, we have no problems.
Yeah.
Said I was at K-State football.
Yeah.
Oh, is he in here?
Yeah, he's
Probably.
watching.
Yeah.
He's watching.
What a fan.
What's up, Jacob?
J-Po.
I just started messing
Oh,
around
J-Po
with
has
the,
a barbecue place for us in Lubbock. He
Yeah.
said
Yes.
he's-
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that game.
I just started experimenting with the UNLV playbook. It's fun. There's
K-State
a lot of
playbook?
crazy plays in there.
K-State playbook's pretty fun, too.
Really? Mate uses Kansas, but that's because I told him to use Kansas. I used to use UGA, then I used Kansas, and I'm on Colorado, actually.
I like
you
the
go.
Colorado one.
It's really good.
I just I had only used the Colorado one for literally the entirety of the game until this week. And I was
Really?
like, I got to try something new. I'm getting a little bored of just running jet sweep with Travis for 50 yards every time.
Fair enough.
So now I got the the UNLV is crazy. You have like shotgun sets with two backs to your right,
Go,
like
go.
all sorts. Yeah,
Oh, I hate playing against that formation. Dude.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
that's exactly what
So
why I want to run it.
You got to tune up then. Get that defense in check, bro.
Yeah.
No, I do. My recruiting,
Yeah?
telling you.
There you go.
Hey,
That's where I need help.
call me Corey Phillips to whoever recruit.
Hell yeah.
I'm telling you.
I'm feeling that
I'm
too,
telling
bro.
you, dog. I'm nasty.
No, you can call me the dog catcher. That's who I am.
I don't
So
need
you
to
got-
recruit well. My stick skills are that good.
You got
Wow.
Nate in your room and on the game, and we got two Aussies for their team tomorrow for Cincinnati.
Yep.
Brothers, actually.
Brothers.
They're big brother and little brother.
Yeah.
They make those from Louisville.
Yeah.
Yeah. Small world.
Yeah.
May should have to fight them.
Yeah.
Proof who has
Yeah.
who has the
Yeah.
best mate.
I'm going with our Aussie over there. Two
I was going
Aussies.
to say,
Oh,
all
of
right,
course.
he's
Easy.
huge.
Yeah.
Easy. Easy.
Which, if I don't know this, but I have a feeling Coach Prime isn't a big fake punt guy because he's probably like, if we're going for it on fourth down, I'm putting the ball in Shador's hand. But if he was, I feel like Mate might have a couple good fakes.
Mate
up
would be
his
hard
sleeve.
to tackle.
Yeah.
Mate's a big boy, man.
Well, also he's got to be able to sling it a little bit with
Yeah.
that frame. Oh, don't tell him.
no.
no, that was a Diddy pause or something. Like he's got to be able to sling it with that frame.
Oh,
come
Lord.
on.
Here we
Like,
go.
dude,
Jeez.
what's the what?
Yeah,
are
trying
we
to talk
talking? What are we
ball
talking
over here.
That's the problem. Man. What ball you talking?
We never specified that we were talking about football.
Well, Mata, we're gonna let your frame get out of here so you can go sling it, and because this thing is eroding fast.
Okay.
As always, we appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you for having me.
Loving you. Come on, man.
Yes, sir.
Go ball out tomorrow. Go be you.
Always.
Yes, sir.
Mata, Alejandro. How do you not like Mata? Say tacos for me again. Yeah, I don't know what that word is.
Let's take our next break.
I'm gonna give you some spots to check out. All right,
All right.
we'll go.
Shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. We're about to share our prime players
Yep.
for Colorado versus Cincinnati. Sleeper, the best fantasy app out there. Even if you're on another platform, you can import your league history and get in on all those features on Sleeper. They got Sleeper Picks, operational in over 25 states. Check them out. Download the app, use the promo code BUFFS, BUFFS. You'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Again, currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today.
Also, shout out to Promotico. They made our beautiful, fantastic, lovely bus. Unfortunately, we'll not be at the tailgate tomorrow.
Big bummer.
I think Kenny Highways is sick of us, so he needs a little break before he sees us again for Lubbock. But no, I think he actually has vacation, which he deserves.
Absolutely.
But we'll be at the tailgate, and we'll be back on the bus on the way to Lubbock in a couple weeks here. We love our bus. If you want something similar, you can go to promotico.net or call 678-208-3436. Find them on Facebook to learn more.
Scott.
Real quick, this visual right here is the answer to everyone who said, did they replace Neely with Scott?
It's crazy,
Which
bro.
I'm like, what are you
Can't do that.
saying
It's
by
insane.
that?
I got a couple of inboxes about that, and I was like, dude, what? Like, I didn't even know what they were talking
What's
about.
crazy is this just comes off the heels of us doing a show on Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
and Sunday
that's
on
true.
a bus with all of our faces on it.
Yeah.
And then you're gone for like 2 days, and they're like, "Where's Neely?"
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the love and support, but as you can see, we're here together.
That boy
Yes, sir.
going nowhere.
For real.
Just like Scott's waves. I don't know if the camera's picking them up, but I'm getting a little seasick over here.
My dog.
The boat is rocking.
My dog.
The boat is rocking. These waves. How's first week been at DNVR been, man?
Hey, it's been alive, man. It's been real fun, man. Appreciate everybody out there showing love and whatnot. It's dope to join a talented squad like you guys. You're
crushing
it,
bro.
man. Appreciate that.
It's great to have you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that Jake is abandoning you in the press box this weekend.
Yeah, he petty for that. I'm not going to lie. I guess
You're not going up,
it is
Jake?
what it is.
No,
I'm going to go be a fool with this guy.
Oh, man.
He acting real
That's
different
going to be some
today.
great content.
So I have 2 extra tickets. So I said, why don't we get Jake in the stands with me, and then we'll get RC in there to record it all, and we'll just post the content of us acting a fool.
That's gonna be piddly. You'll make me come in the stands before a game if y'all keep doing that.
Y'all gonna be turned.
Got to do a quick thing in the chat here. Don't get to do this a lot while they're scrolling, but Wayne Morgan.
Yeah. That's our guy.
I was born, and I know the movie Convoy with Rubber Duck. Classic movie. Go watch Convoy. It's probably gonna be a suck movie now because it's like, dude, this isn't good. It was good in the 70s. It's kind of like if you go back and watch the first Star Wars and you see the string holding up the Millennium Falcon.
Yep.
Like, you got to watch it in 1970s eyes.
Fair.
Shout out to Rubber Duck Convoy.
Hey, real spill, I don't know how I'm supposed to sit in this seat and follow Slash.
Yeah.
Cordell Stewart. I was getting there too, but Cordell Stewart was just electric, and Mata just had me rolling back there. Mata is hilarious.
He's
the best,
He's
man.
too funny.
I was about to, when Cordell was just cooking, I was literally about to just take my headset off and just go out that door, and just no one would have noticed.
Yeah. What'd you think about Slash, Scott?
I mean, I feel like it'd be silly to say that he knows ball because obviously, right?
Right.
But, I mean, I like that you went there too, RK, and I like where Cordell went with it too. Like, a lot of people, they look at Mike Vick, right? Like, guys you mentioned, Donovan McNabb is kind of like the first kind of black dual-threat quarterbacks that we've kind of seen. And, yeah, Slash was really doing it before a lot of these guys that we kind of get credit for. And I know my pops, in particular, was a big fan of Kordell Stewart, back in the day. So, man, he's a legend, man. And I think it's dope, man, that this weekend is setting up the way it is, right?
Crazy,
with him and Juju being back in Boulder after, meeting, whatever, 6-7 years ago or whatever. So it's dope.
What about me calling out Bill Cowher?
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I thought so.
funny.
I thought so, too.
That was hilarious. And
Yeah, well, I hope he watches it, you know.
And honestly,
Some wordplay, too.
it was fascinating to hear his first-hand account of that because it's like, why was
Yeah.
they playing with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why was y'all playing with Slash like this?
Dude, I remember being 5 years old watching the Steelers going this guy's so cool, and then he just wasn't out there, and it's what's happening?
Yes.
And I remember being a little older than 5 and being a diehard Cowboy fan. I still am, and I was so happy that they misused him.
It was
I was
crazy.
like, we don't want him on the field. Thank you.
The one that I watched, that I thought, man, if they used Cordell like this, it would have gone crazy, is Cam Newton.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great example.
He mentioned the Andy Reid stuff, which,
perfect answer.
great answer.
Yeah.
Because I think, any great talented quarterback is going to shine in that offense. But, just the cool kind of option stuff that they had in there for Cam, but then he was still able to play from the pocket. I thought they did a great job designing an offense around Cam. And I while watching that, in real time, I was like, man, if Cordell got to play like this, he would have just gone nuts.
I would. What?
That guy next to you knows ball.
Yes, and I was about to say I kind of wish he was going to say the 2012 Washington team.
I thought about that too.
With
RG3,
Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, LaFleur on staff, and RG3 and Alfred Morris were running over everyone back then.
Because they were letting him be great.
Yep,
Let
they
him
were.
cook.
Letting it be him.
Yep. All right, let's get to prime players. Go ahead and throw up that graphic if you can, Alyssa. Who wants to start? Offense, defense, and sleeper of the game.
I never mind going first because I believe what I believe. And I believe that when Cincinnati comes out there, Scott, and they got that 3-man front, sometimes it's going to look like a 4 because there's a guy right behind the nose guard, but the 3-man front, it's begging us to run the ball.
Sure
and
is.
Isaiah has been nodded as the starter, so I'm going to go with him as my offensive player of the game because, my God, 5 people blocking 3, opening up and run, we should be getting some yards.
Is that because we've talked about this a lot, especially last year. You used to always say it about Jake. You're saying it because you hope, or are you saying it because you believe?
I'm saying it because I believe, because, he ain't our leading yard getter by fluke. He's done the most with his opportunities, and that's been against defenses that have not really invited the run. This is a defense that wants you to run. So I think he's going to be able to get loose as Jalen Hurts would say, get freaky with it and make some things happen. I'm looking for a 20, 25-yard run from him.
I love it. And I would just hope that if they're trying to attack this team via the run, they get a little more creative with it and also take it to the outside. Yep. This team can be beat running the ball to the edges. If you run into number 2's arms, he's going to wreck your run game. Because if you run up the middle, he's just going to push someone into the run, open up a hole for a linebacker to shoot through there. Yeah. But you go to the edges, like one of the plays that they used a few times last year that I'd love to see involved is the pitch out of shotgun.
Yeah,
they use it a lot with Dylan.
Yep.
But then there's even you can go off that with a couple of reads for Shedeur. He can fake the pitch, keep it. I'd like to see them get a little of that going.
Yeah, love it. I love the Isaiah Augusta pick. It was dope hearing from him this week too, right? Kind of his why. Doing it for his little 5-month-old daughter back at the crib.
That was amazing.
Amazing stuff. Really seeing his smile, just talking about her was dope. But as far as my offensive player of the game, if you watch yesterday's show, you should already know who I'm rocking with,
Let's
man.
Go.
LeJontay Wester, man.
Let's go.
Last 6 games, he's either had a touchdown or 100+ yards receiving. This Cincinnati defense has some solid perimeter corners, but I think from the slot they can certainly be had. And again, he's caught 13 of his last 14 targets from Shedeur Sanders. First down.
Number 10.
Yeah.
And you're sitting where number 10 said.
Oh, God.
A lot of synergy
new number
there.
10 coming soon.
For real. So I think LeJontay Wester, if he don't find the end zone, he's going to definitely have a big day regardless, moving the chains. And I think he's in for a huge game again on Saturday.
I picked LeJontay too. I think he's just finding his stride, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just hitting it timing-wise with Shedeur in terms of, where he is on the field and also just the knack for making big plays. We're finally seeing that from LeJontay.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to have another big game.
This game sets up really well for slot receivers to pop off. And I was thinking, okay, am I more interested in being right or am I more interested in being unique? And then I said, I want to be right and unique. So I picked Jimmy Horn Jr. Because I think that, if they're going to try and focus some of their energy into the slot, they're going to focus it on LeJontay. And Jimmy is just waiting in the wings. We saw what he could do against North Dakota State. He is a 200-yard game waiting to happen.
Yes, he is.
At any moment, especially if you give him the wrong look. So I think this could be Jimmy's week, and then I get to be right and unique. There you go.
Wait, I think, speaking to that uniqueness, this is the first time we've had a different person across the board.
Jake and
me and Scott are the same.
Oh, yeah, I got the same. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Y'all both went with. My bad. I was hoping for total uniqueness.
Well, we
lock the fuck in.
Yeah. We would have been, but then we added a new guy.
True.
Yeah.
My bad, y'all. That's on me.
Nah.
We'll get him on the
No,
graphics.
that cord that caused the delay was on you.
Yeah.
Saying me and RK twerking. No, this guy broke the camera on day one.
Defense, who wants to go first?
I'll go. This offense for Cincinnati really likes to work the short passing game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because of that, Preston Hodge could have a game. And I almost feel like I should have gone with Shiloh because I think Shiloh could have a game too. But when I just look at the way that they have attacked other offenses, they're really going to try and work in that short and intermediate stuff. And I just have a feeling that Preston's going to jump one.
All right, love it.
I'm going to go next, so don't nobody take my answer. You kind of alluded to it. It's that man right there on your shirt, RK.
Love it.
I think Shiloh went for a big game. He got back in the mix last week, probably knocked some of the rust off. I think he makes a big play, whether he jars the ball loose or gets a turnover, gets an interception. I think Shiloh gets back in the good graces of everybody here this weekend.
I predicted with BMAC that Shiloh would have a forced fumble.
Oh, I
that
love
was one
it.
of my BMAC predictions.
I also love, I think it was in Well Off, but Shiloh's, fans are trying to get signatures and stuff after the game. He's like, "Were you hating on me last week?" No, man, I was still all about you. I never changed it. All right, so that's it.
That's hilarious.
Who you got?
I'm coming all the way back up to the front. Does it help Cincinnati to keep Shedeur on the bench?
That would behoove them to
help
do that.
anyone.
The way you keep Shedeur on the bench is try to run the ball. Give me block bully for a big day. Because he's either going to swallow up that run game or he's going to have so much pressure on that QB that your short pass they're looking for are going to be hard to get. In Arizona, first 2 or 3 plays of the game, we made contact with the quarterback. If we can do that this week against Cincinnati, send the message it's going to be a long day, I think they're going to start handing that ball off.
Yeah, we need a block bully choke slam again.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm calling it. Give me block bully, defensive player of the game.
I went with B.J. Green for the similar reason that I picked LeJohntay. I think he's just heating up. He's had, I think, 3 sacks? Maybe 4 sacks the last few weeks. And he just seems like he's really finding his footing as well. And he's the impactful player I think a lot of us thought he would be coming in here to Colorado. He's got a bag of pass rush moves, man. So this Cincinnati offensive line, they're good, they're solid, but I do think that BJ and a lot of our better edge rushers are going to eat.
If I can give you just a little more confidence in that, out of everybody that we picked, BJ had the best practice this week.
Hell yeah.
And he got a little scruffy, too. He ain't even got the clean cut.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how you know he locked in.
He's
He's
locked
locked in. Just too locked in.
Doesn't have time for anything else.
Facts.
Sleepers, who wants to go?
I'll go first. I believe that this will be the last week that this man can be considered a sleeper. And also worked for me last week.
Yep.
So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Give me Colton Hood to continue the streak 3 weeks in a row with an interception. And once he does that, I won't be able to pick him as a sleeper anymore.
There you go.
This dude is – I said this earlier in the week, but I'll reiterate it. If it weren't for all the star power on this team,
Yep.
Colton Hood and his emergence would be a big story, if not the story. Like, man, this young kid, redshirt freshman coming out of nowhere, is absolutely locking down everyone he goes up against, including Teterow and McMillan.
Clamps.
That is crazy. And it's really, really exciting for the future, but it's also exciting for the present. So last week for him as a sleeper, in my opinion.
Yep, he's a ball player.
Love it.
What's up, on?
You want me?
Yeah.
You know, for the very reasons that you were speaking of earlier, RK, you know, you talked about Shiloh, you talked about Hodge. I'm just going to play the odds of the numbers. When I look at the different packages, the schemes that Rob Livingston is going to throw out there this week, one of the guys that is probably going to be on the field more than others, Carter Stottmeyer.
Let's go.
Give me Carter to have a big game because one of those series he's going to make something happen. So I'm going Carter.
It's very interesting because we were talking about Cincinnati's really talented tight end who they like throwing the ball to, and I said earlier this week that I don't know if that's how they plan to use Carter, but I would like to see him. You know, if there is a man-to-man situation, I would like to see.
He's
Carter.
the big body. I love it.
I love that matchup. That great pick. Go ahead. What's up?
Just an awesome thing for Carter. You know, he's a corner who's converted to safety.
Yeah.
Usually the biggest problem you have there is tackling.
Yep.
That has been maybe the thing he's done the best this season.
Yeah.
Yep.
He has been an incredibly sure tackle, so credit to him for that.
Most definitely.
I went with Draylon Miller. This guy's been used in a variety of ways, and it feels like he's just waiting to break one big play and have like a stat line that you can look at and say, okay, the freshman's arrived. So I'm picking him. Maybe I'm hoping a bit, but it's a matter of time, I think, before Draylon has a big game. So I'm going to go this week.
Do it again. I'm going to go probability-wise. Your pick is sound because he's a running back too.
Let's go.
You know, he's going to get some opportunities.
No,
Who you got, Scott?
I'm going back on the defensive side of the ball. Another guy we heard from this week, Arden Walker. Not just
Great
first sack of the season last week. You know, he talked about it's basketball sometimes, the way they rotate edge rushers, pass rushers in and out so they can stay fresh. Again, he got his first sack of the season last year. I think Cincinnati's going to be behind quite a bit, or at least for a majority of this game on Saturday. They're going to have to pass it quite a bit. I think that opens up some opportunities for that pass rush. I bet Arden Walker gets another sack again here
I love it.
Saturday.
And speaking of the edge room, I think I speak for all of us when I say we're thinking about Spider-Man.
Yep.
Nikhil
Of course,
Webb-Walker.
Definitely.
Just scary, you know. Told the team today that he is dealing with lymphoma. And so we are thinking of him, hoping he pulls through, go attack this shit, and beat its ass.
Absolutely.
Praying for you, bro.
Shout out to Nikhil Webb-Walker. And shout out to Herman Smith as well.
Yeah, Herman's been battling some little nagging football injuries, and today have what would appear to be a gallbladder, maybe a appendix episode, but had to have some emergency surgery this morning. So Herm Smith, who was with Coach Prime at Jackson State as well, you know, shout out to him. They both will bounce back.
Yep. And just, you know, to Herm's credit, we were talking to Tommy Robinson last week, and, you know, he basically said you guys have to give him more love for what he's doing on special teams.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He be flying down the field,
Yeah,
100%.
He wants to do it.
Yeah.
And then shout out to Chris,
Yeah.
our homie Chris, for sending us a care package.
Yeah, care package went crazy. All sorts of beef jerky.
It's all gone in the office, by the way.
No.
I swear to God. I went up there and I grabbed the thing of beef jerky because I was like, you guys just ate all of our snacks.
They ate the nuggets?
Yeah.
It wasn't a they.
Dude,
New guy.
I went up there. That bag, we left it yesterday, I swear, 98% full.
Yeah, well, okay, that's fine.
It's down to nothing.
That's fine because we opened that. We left it out on the middle table. I was
Right.
like, all right, I've tasted this. All the other bags are gone?
There was one closed bag, and I think it was the caramel ones.
Bro, you guys don't understand. We literally work with a pack of piranhas.
It is crazy.
Like, you just throw anything out there, and it's like a feeding frenzy.
Yep.
If you don't pull your hand back fast enough, it'll get bit off.
Yeah. All right, let's hit our last ad break.
Last ad break.
Chat, that's your cue. Shout out to our friends. Actually, you do this one. What do you love?
My Toyota?
Yeah. One day I'm gonna pull a different ad on you.
What do you love? Toyota? No, Coors Light, idiot. I do love Coors Light and I do love Toyota, just not together at the same time. But Toyota, man, as reliable as it gets. I love that people have now been tweeting at me how reliable their Toyotas are.
Yep.
They're like, just hit 200,000 miles. Just, I think Laura said she hit 220 with hers yesterday. It makes me happy because I was looking down at mine. I'm still under 50. So, life has only just begun for the RAV4. But these things, man, they're so reliable. The ride is smooth. Scott, you rode in the Toyota today for the first time. What'd you think?
Impressed, bro.
Yeah.
Smooth to say the least.
Exactly. So
We got to get all four of us with a picture so they know I haven't been replaced.
that's fair.
That is true.
We've
needed, yeah.
proven I
that
haven't been
is true.
replaced on the show.
Yes.
We got to prove I have been replaced in the Toyota along the front range.
All right. Let's do it. And
Let's bust a block we leave here.
you can find a Toyota for yourself at a Front Range Toyota store near you, including AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe, and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR.
And then shout out to UC Health. Big emphasis on sleep right now. Daylight savings time is coming up soon, right?
I don't know, bro.
Is it?
Oh, okay.
Isn't it dead? I thought we killed it.
I don't know, man.
I think this is the last time.
Yeah, we
That's
still.
what everyone says every time.
Dude, it's crazy. But either way, we have a late game tomorrow night. Make sure you get your sleep in, whether it's going to bed early tonight, getting a nap tomorrow. Do not sleep on sleep.
No.
And Coach Prime is the Chief Motivation Officer of UC Health's Ready, Set, Code Challenge to get Colorado back to its rightful place as the healthiest state in the country. If you want to join the challenge, click the link in the show notes or go to www.uchealth.org/readysetco.
And you've been getting some great sleep this week.
I have been. And
I can tell.
Love to hear that.
Shout out to the chat. Jordan Fernandez and that's it.
What you
No
say,
one
Ian?
else took me up on my offer.
You say he in a better mood today or something?
Well,
You
I
notice?
didn't have to ask him directly about his sleep. When I asked you, had you experienced cranky
Right.
Jake yet?
Yeah.
And you said no, then I
Correct.
know his sleep
Yeah.
has been above par.
Direct correlation.
Absolutely.
It's been
Doesn't
dialed in.
last long, though.
I have
It's
been
all
been locked
it's
the
all
fuck
going. Yeah, let's go. It's all going out the window tomorrow.
Yeah, it doesn't last long.
I'll be fine.
I will not.
But the people around you won't be fine.
Oh,
Relax.
I might be able to sleep in until football starts on Sunday, though. That's my goal.
There you go. I'm gonna be out there at the tailgate. We have a home game.
You're a diehard, man.
I love them. A few more things. We did get a commitment today. Christian Hudson. We've talked a lot about this guy over the last few weeks. Basically, since the UCF game, he has flipped from UCF to Colorado. The 4-star defensive lineman coming from Daytona Beach, Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, just an exciting time.
Yeah, if you were at that game and you're from that area and you saw what we did, yeah, flip.
Yep.
like flip. Just flip. Like, Richard Pryor had a little stand-up that he would say.
Mm-hmm.
He said, man, there's a
Shout
lot
out Jermaine,
of, lot of gangs where I was growing up, and I picked my side based on who was winning. So I'll be in a different gang each week.
That's like how I choose which recruiting service I like the best. By the way, ESPN right now, they're
Yeah,
cooking.
they are
got
cooking.
Hudson as a 4-star. They got
Julian at
Juju as
number
a
2.
5-star. number 2.
Absolutely.
Yep.
They're
Down
cooking.
with them until they stop cooking.
Yeah, exactly. It's once they mess up, it's all over.
Yep.
By the way, I have a request of our people.
Do it.
Can you guys, if you're coming to the tailgate, buy your tickets earlier in the week? because what happens is everyone buys their tickets on Saturday, which is great because we love seeing everyone, and we end up, filling up the tailgate and blowing it up.
Yep.
But all week, the event staff is just freaking out that not enough people are coming, and they're just blowing me and Jake up, being like, what's going on? Why is no one coming to the tailgate? So if you're coming to the tailgate, just buy your ticket on, Monday, and then Jake and I don't get yelled
please. Thank you.
I can't wait for my first tailgate, man.
Oh, you're going to have a blast, bro.
About to be
Tomorrow's
litty.
your first one?
Yes, sir.
You know what? I think I may intentionally miss just to spread the rumors further that you have replaced me. There's nothing like good conspiracy,
Shout out to Jermaine King again, if you didn't hear the first one.
What was your shot? What was your pitch to the chat?
Don't worry about it, bro.
What is going on, bro? You just, having a little thing with the chat behind our backs?
Okay, so here's what happened.
We were all here together.
I was sitting here literally ready for the show to go, and then we had our difficulties and all that, and so I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to hang out with the chat, talk to them, let them know what's up. And I told them if they said that they wanted a shout-out during the last ad read, I'd give them a shout-out.
Oh,
and only 2 people took me up on it. So.
Damn. Look at you taking care of the fans.
Yeah.
They're my people.
Look at you being reluctant to tell us something that was so simple to tell us.
Because I told the chat. It was between
it was their
me
thing.
and them.
It was their thing.
All right.
Shout out to Wayne Morgan as well. All right, Super Chats.
Super Chats from the Funky Dope Producer.
Okay, give me a few seconds then. How was practice, Hunk?
This week or
Yeah, this week.
Yeah, it was good. I really think, when Coach Prime set the tone early in the week about running the table, and it starts with Cincinnati. And let me clarify something with the fan base out there, even the hater base. When we say the goal is to get Miss Peggy to a bowl game, that's rung one of the ladder.
Yeah.
It's not like we're going to get 6 wins. All right, let's start practicing.
Wrap it up.
We're trying to go higher and higher. So it's always been get to a bowl game, get to Big 12. We win tomorrow, you got a bowl eligibility, but we still have Big 12 championship in front of us with games left. So Coach Prime has made it clear to these guys, I not only want to run the table, I believe that you can run the table, but keep in mind that starts with Cincinnati.
Yep.
You got to win this one.
Yep.
This one is so big, man, because you just get this little, however you want to describe it, a monkey off your back.
Yeah.
And it's not really this team's burden to carry, but there is a bowl drought, and there has been a lack of bowl appearances.
Sure.
And so getting that out of the way and just knocking it out this week is so huge, because then you spend the entire bye week thinking about the next rung on the ladder. So take care of business.
I love that breakdown.
And then we get to talk about the real stuff.
Yes, sir.
And here's part of the real stuff. I can see a monitor now. Your Shiloh shirt and my Travis Heisman shirt are kicking ass. I just want to point that out.
They're popping off.
All right, let's get to Super Chats. Paris with the first one says, Neely, percentage that QB2 and Travis don't play in the bowl game.
100% that they play.
Ooh.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, 100% that they play. I understand what happens now in college football, and I understand why it happens. When we were at Jackson State, we had some guys sit out the bowl game. I get it. But Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders ain't wired that way.
Yep.
They are finished the task guys. And getting to the bowl game, no matter what bowl game that is not the task. Winning it, coming back with rings, that's the goal. They're going to play.
I love that, man. I didn't even want to have to worry about that right now, but I love that answer. And I'll also just say this. There are a ton of people out there right now who are saying they would never play in the bowl game. Sure. They never will.
I just think they don't know these guys.
Who will not give them any credit.
They don't.
And they're not going to give them any credit when they do, though.
Yeah, and it's not to me. It's not just Travis and Shedeur. Tyler Brown is going to play.
Yep.
Wester's going to play. These guys ain't going to abandon ship like that. Time stamp it, write it down. I said it. let's talk in a couple weeks.
All right.
Or a month.
Coach Barry with the Super Chat. I'm after the Hard Rock Casino bookkeeper again. This time I threw the kitchen sink on CU to win by 7. They win by 7, and I'm going to the bank to play with my rolls. Hell yeah.
All right.
You love it.
Crazy.
Shout out Coach Barry. We are delayed.
So Vegas loves this week. How much they loving us by?
5.5.
It is moved. It's 6.5.
Holy smokes. They can't stop. They can't move it far enough.
Started at like 3.5, I think.
Yes,
originally,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm checking right now.
That's crazy.
The line is 6.5. Yep.
Unc, we gave our score predictions yesterday when you were replaced.
Man, I love it.
What do you got?
Oh, man. Per usual, 2 touchdowns and a field goal, us by 17 or more.
Okay.
And I don't think it's going to take to the fourth quarter to do it.
All right.
I write this down before you write the score down. Staub will play tomorrow, and Shador is fine.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
$50 super chat from Brent Massman says, I'm so damn fired up as a long-time diehard Buff fan and alum. FYI, I was there when Kordell, Westbrook, and Rashawn were on the team. Time to get back to that mid-90s level. Absolutely.
I think we're there.
I love it.
I love it.
I love how Kordell talked about it, too.
Yeah.
What's up, Coach?
J. Phil. You got it, brother.
Quick update on Travis.
You know, he will be playing. I know people look for practice. What did he do at practice? Trav sits out so much at practice each week that this is not abnormal.
Yeah, but he did. It looked like he practiced yesterday.
He did, and let me tell you this about the days he didn't practice, which are his normal rest days. The guy is doing like 100-yard gassers on the sideline every time there's an offensive or defensive play. And no one told him to do that. That's just what he does. So, Travis, he'll be out there.
When he's done playing football, hopefully a very long time from now, I'd like to see him do like an ultra marathon or something, just to see if he's even built different than those guys.
Yeah. Next one from Barron says, no more tripod. I changed on me. What does it say? No more tripod. What's the name of the forfecta? Something like that?
Quadfecta? Quadpod.
Quadpod.
Quadpod!
Let's go. Jermaine with the super chat. Does it feel weird that On3 loves CU this weekend?
They've changed up quite a bit. But I guess that's just what happens when you take care of business.
Feinbaum has changed up. He's like agreeing, Coach Prime should be Coach of the Year.
There's people at On3 who are saying, like, we're not talking about what CU's doing enough.
I know.
It's actually crazy.
What's up, Coach?
It's good, Coach.
I don't. You see Ty? I got
They
you.
might be over on the chair over there.
It was a brown bag.
Right there.
Yeah, check that brown bag right there.
The envelope.
Next one from Coach Barry says, Unc, tell me, please, is Dayon Hayes out for the season or not?
Seen him in the building a while ago.
There you go. Barron,
Do you have any update on his health?
I don't.
Barron says, at DNVR, you give a NFL legend a safe space to speak his truth, not ESPN, not Sports Illustrated, DNVR, big things popping, a new level unlocked. Yeah. Shout out to Unc for that also, by the way.
I appreciate that. But Kordell was certainly in a safe space and spoke his truth.
Yep, he did.
Also, shout out to Alyssa, who had to scramble all over town to make sure that we could get this show up and running.
The GOAT.
Thank you, Alyssa.
And did you see that Jeep whipping this parking lot right there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was rolling.
Speed racer.
Around.
I was like, my God.
Coach Barry again. Says, quick question. Can a grad player redshirt if they don't play in 4 games or get hurt and don't play in 4 games?
Yeah.
I think you can.
Yeah, they could.
They got even looser rules, don't they?
Yeah, for sure. And, I mean, they could just, get another degree.
Yeah, they're adults. Like, they're out of school.
Most of those guys, though, are ready to take the leap once they have their grad degree.
Yeah.
Who's it from? Rossiano.
It'll come up in a sec. There
it is. Graciano. Says, thanks, Unc, for clearing that up. We don't want you replaced. It was never the case.
Yeah, thank you.
There's no rule that says we can only have one black guy.
I didn't think so. Yeah.
Never seen that one before.
Yeah. Shout out to Mata.
Who's next?
Sounds all white.
That boy is so funny, man.
Oh, yeah, without trying.
For real.
The accent thing.
Yeah.
That was so
he was
funny.
like Kordell. He was speaking his truth, man.
For real.
Which, by the way, Mata's accent is an incredible amalgamation of all the different places he's been.
Yep. Shout out to Jordan with the super chat again. Says the best show on the tube, the DNVR Pregame Show. Shout out to y'all for interacting with us and welcoming us. I just missed the end of that. And welcoming us to the family. # Bowling Buffs. Appreciate you, Jordan.
Hell yeah.
Coach Barry again. I was shocked that Tyler Johnson, Chainsaw, and Yukari didn't pan out at CU and are now not enrolled no more. Happens.
That's just college football, man.
Absolutely.
You're going to take chances on guys. You're going to give guys opportunities. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes the vibes aren't right. Whatever it is, it's just you're putting together a roster of over 100, young men. It's just not always going to work out.
And I think if nothing else, what we've learned from Will Walker or Herman Smith is that sometimes there are things going on that are deeper than football,
Yep.
and that the student athlete or the organization does not want to share or need to share.
Yeah.
And we always look at things when you don't see somebody as an ability thing or inability thing or lack of performance thing, when sometimes there are personal family stuff back home.
Yeah.
There are health things that are bigger than football. And so you got to take all that with a grain of salt. It happens.
Yep.
And, I'll never forget, I was covering Colorado basketball back in the day, and a player had an illness that he didn't want to be disclosed.
Mm-hmm.
And, the media is asking the coach about it every single day. Why isn't he at? What's up with him? Where is he? Where is he? And the coach one time just pulled us aside and said, here's what's going on. Please don't report it.
Yeah.
One of the reporters went and reported it immediately.
Idiot.
Bad business.
And that just rubbed me the wrong way so badly that, when certain things come up, it's just like, I don't, none of that other stuff matters to me. It's like this, it's about, making sure we do what's best.
Look at that guy.
Or what is requested of these young men.
And just give these dudes some grace, right? You just never know what people are
Way to
going
say
through.
that. Yeah, way to
battling
say that.
through.
Let me tell you how
battling.
much grace I give. And this is not to pat me on the back, myself on the back. I'm just being understanding as a dad. I have kids who are this college age and a little older. Webb Walker stood up in front of the team and gave his testimony. You know what I did? I clipped it out of mine.
Mm. Yeah.
And I'm not saying someone else is wrong for showing it, but he was talking to the team about something.
Yeah.
To me, he wasn't necessarily talking to the world. So I was like, you know what? When he says it publicly, I'll make what I got from him public. But that was a him thing.
Definitely.
Well, it's like what Coach Go Buck says in the comments. I mean, Coach Fleece shared with us what he was dealing with earlier in this week too. I mean, there's just so much going on in all of our lives that you never really know what's actually happening. Okay, RC with the super sticker says Shiba dog dressed in a traditional outfit waving Japanese flags. Thank you for that, RC.
Oh, wow. That's a lot going on there.
Don Peasy with the super chat. Thank you for this, by the way, Alyssa. Says, how versatile is Cash Cleveland? Do you see him replacing Hank at any point in the future or switching positions or forever backup? Cash is a young guy.
Yeah, he's a young guy. He's going to get opportunities. Coach Prime gave him, which you'll probably see on Rich to People Well Off for the pregame show next hour or so. Coach gave him a beautiful shout out this morning. Had him stand up, talked about how he's never a problem, never complaining, never moaning. And the biggest part of this testimony Coach Prime gave to Cash was he asked Phil Lodeholt, how often does Cash practice with the ones? And Coach Phil Lodeholt said never. He said, well, how was it he was able to go out there with the ones without notice? It's because he watches his film, because he's prepared, and he's always ready for his opportunity.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And a couple things on that. One, I highly encourage everyone to go watch the episode of Too Legendary.
It's so good.
With Cash. But he just talked about, I just prayed for my opportunity would come, and I if I was going to pray for that, then I knew I had to be ready for when it happened. And then the other thing that I'll say about Cash Cleveland, which is, one of the best compliments that I think you could pay anyone, just go look how happy Shador is when he's interacting with Cash. Like his aura, whatever you want to call it, his vibe clearly makes everyone around him more joyful.
That's because Cash always smiling. He always
Man, I was about to say
that's
that.
dope.
Bro, remember when we had him on the show in the summer?
Yes.
Oh, he was great.
But
We
it's
got to
like,
get him back.
Shador's like a senior, Cash is a freshman,
Right,
and
yeah.
they're just like having a blast down there. I loved it.
Our linebackers and running backs rooms got bigger, so I've moved back a row. I sit between the O-line and the linebacker coaches. And so next to me is Rock, and next to him is Cash. Cash typically is in the room before Rock, so we always get the interaction. You've never seen a happier guy no more.
Yeah.
And no matter what damn song Jockey is playing, it could be hardcore hip-hop or it could be a country tune. Cash knows the damn words to it.
Let's go.
The IMG boys, man.
Yeah, they're different, huh? For real. Brian with the super chat says, firstly, shout out to Augustev. How is Micah doing, and is there any updates on the hamstring injury?
He's been dressed in that practice and, going through the warm-ups and doing some stretches, and every now and then he tries to give it a go. But, the one thing about a hamstring, you push it and you can reset it.
Yep.
And so I think what's going to happen is he'll be out there warming up. He'll be dressed tomorrow. I don't expect him to get any carries because this bye week is going to present another opportunity. And it's my good friend RK does the math. That 2 weeks becomes 3 weeks before you get to that next game. So I think he's going to sit.
Sit that boy. I'm Heaven's Demon says, would Coach Prime be okay if Shador gets drafted to Cleveland, or is that a bad location?
I can't
That's a
speak
bad
for Coach Prime, but
location.
that's a bad location.
That's a bad location.
Cincinnati also.
Yeah.
An interesting relationship there.
Last one from Warren Peace. Super sticker. Pair character dancing under a rain of confetti and taking his hat off to say, "You are amazing. You are amazing, Warren."
Thank you.
Shout out to all
super
the love.
stickers.
They're so great. You can actually see them here. Look at.
Oh, wow. Good stuff.
Oh, man. I just been visualizing this
Yeah,
shit.
that's what it actually looks like.
This is like when you read a book and then it becomes a movie.
Yeah.
I'm saying that as if I've ever read a book.
I was gonna say.
You've watched movies that were books.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Last minute $100 super chat from Mark.
Wow.
Says this super chat is overdue. Love this show. True knowledge dropped here. Cincy born, but Boulder/Longmont has been home for the last 15, and the Buffs are my team. Can't make the tailgate, but we'll be there in 109 by kickoff and all black. Thanks, Unc, Scott, Jake, RK, and FDP.
Let's go. We'll be in 108, so you'll probably see us.
Hell yeah!
You definitely hear them.
And then one more.
I just realized I'm excited for Jake to have the in-stands experience.
Yeah.
Like with the fans.
Yeah, I'm hyped.
Because that's a whole other
You're never
thing.
going back, Jake.
Nah, oh, maybe. We'll see. DJ Mark with the last one here. Unc, I want to be a voiceover actor. I emailed you from DJ Mark Cornelius the Don at gmail.com. Please help, sir. Thanks in advance.
Hey, man, we'll do, man. I got your back.
There you go.
It's been a minute since we watched a game together. This is exciting.
I know. Alrighty. We are out of here. Great show.
Great show. Shout out to everyone who joined us, /Mata. Shout out to Scott for his first pregame show.
Shout out to Neely for just joining the show again.
Yeah, shout out to Neely for not being for coming back after we replaced him.
Yeah.
And shout out to Alyssa
I got
for
voted
making
off
it
the
happen.
island and then I swam back.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow night. Pregame show.
Post
Colorado versus
game.
Cincy. Let's go Buffs.
Go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.